Now I'm gonna level with you here. I'm on my way out to a chess game myself. It's league match time, so I'm in a bit of a hurry. Therefore, we're diving in quick and dirty with the white pieces. It's Ante Brikic, a Croatian grandmaster who was a GM in 2007 before Faustino Oro, playing with black, was even born. Fausti's only 12 years old, on his way to potentially become the youngest grandmaster ever. They're playing at the World Cup in Goa, India. Let's all have a go at understanding this game. It's round one. They couldn't be separated in the two classical, so they went to these tie breaks, and this is the final game, right? Let's check this one out. History is made. Boo, what a boring opening that is. Exchanging. Few people fall asleep, but not Fausti, not Brikic. They're still going, and now surely this is an over the board mouse slip. Pawn c4. Hang on a minute, didn't that just go there? This is some grandmaster stuff that's just too deep for me. Fine, this is how the game proceeds. Now we get takes. White's got the isolated queen's pawn. If you're afraid to play with it, you should take up tiddlywinks. Sometimes you've got to take the damage structure. What do you get? Outposts for the knight. Open files for your rooks. Potential to attack. So let's crack on. Castles, bishop e7. This one comes streaming out. Castles, queen e2, h6, dropping back. But Fausti insists, let's trade those dark squared bishops. It's what happens here. It's not the most ambitious play from Brikic, but to be fair to him, Faustino's so tactically sharp, so young, got the brain cells firing right, doesn't have a job, doesn't have a girlfriend or whatever, right? He can just crack on with his chess study. These kids are outrageous these days, and so he wants to keep the game kind of simple, right? No crazy openings. They're so well booked up as well. The queen slides in, hits 2 bits, so Brikic covers like this. Rook d8, logical stuff. This one kicks the queen back. It's absolutely no time to Botez gambit. This queenie says, honey, I'm home. And now we get rook fe1. Both players just getting their bits out. Always do it at the board. Now we see this rook centralizing. Bishop dropping back. You know, it's not nice to be in the gaze of another piece. Maybe one day, whoops, you threaten this kind of thing. Go for some checkmating ideas. Always got to watch that. Knight g4, remove the defender. Common themes, but Faustino fights back with this. Blockading the square in front of the pawn. It's classic chess strategy when you're playing against the IQP. And now we get it. A little rook lift. Ante tenses his muscles at the board there. What a player. But after this and this, could the pawn structure be any more sterile? Completely symmetrical. How's anyone going to find play here? Well, the older grandmaster does drum up some stuff now, but Faustino a minute ahead on the clock. King h8 played, and h4. If in doubt, thrust that rook pawn down the board. We get this rook sliding onto the e-file. Queenie doesn't like it there, so she jumps out the way. And knight h5. Now, you're not meant to put them on the edge of the board. They're known as very stinky Wiener Schnitzels when they hit the rims, right? Very dim. But it does hit the rook, gains some time. Now there's pressure on the pawn. Could be ideas of this. Check. Lose your queen. Nasty, nasty. So knight f6 was played just in time. Rook fe3. Now queen d6, queen d2. And we soon see a little more ambition here from the more seasoned player. That's seasoned in age. He's not covered in salt and pepper, in case you're wondering. After pawn b5, we get the launch of Gary the G-Pawn, the debt collector, coming to bang down the door. And of course you've got this one to use as a hook. And Faustino goes wrong. b4 is apparently the better move, although not obvious that the counterplay is coming quick enough. But what we see in the game is knight h7, knight d7 was another better option. And actually, white can go f4 here with a huge initiative. f5's on the way, and you can't so easily go bishop d7, or there's a check here. monster fork. Bishop's the only piece covering that square. Big problems here for black. So that was the move, but missed. We saw rook 3 to e2, king g8, g5, and although white retains the advantage here, Fausti's not dead. He's still fighting. He targets the pawn. This rook slides over, holding on to it. You know, with great space comes great responsibility, as we've discussed. White's doing a good job of holding it together, but best is simply takes. Very logical when you've got an engine shouting at you, telling you how stupid you are if you don't take. You know, you open the G file and all that good stuff. But this was played, keeping the G file closed. And the problem with this move is not only do you render your attack impotent, not quite sure if that's the appropriate way to say it, but we'll run with it. We're going in one take this evening. But also, the pawn is a potential weakness. This knight drops back. Bishop h3 tickles the rook. And say you go here, because, you know, you'd love to transfer your queen around and deliver some nasties. Well, then the bishop drops back. Say you carry on that plan to bring the queen. Okay, I just hung a knight. Ignore me. Let's set up a position like hikaru would do. I don't know, say takes here. Well, this is the point. That even though the queen hops round, black's in time to win that pawn. King's got a flight square, you're alive and kicking. And of course there's a knight hanging, you know, real uh-oh spaghetti-o moment. So that's why no rook h2. Rook g3 hits it, stays with the pawn. Bishop dropping back. Sorry, rook's leaving the board first. Now bishop dropping back. And this one comes just in time to hold stuff together. Faustino hits it with his queen. Queen d2 covers. And now, I was about to say the move, but I want to do a dramatic pause because the game really changes here. Faustino does not play b4 or knight e6 to enter the game again. Maybe rook e8 or something. Not bad moves. But he plays a move that imbalances things. A tactical shot. Love his ambition. Knight takes on g6. And his tactical point is that if you play the desirable move, knight takes, uh-oh, you just dropped a rook. That's dead time. So let's run back here. We saw rook takes. Faustino is now given 2 minors for the rook. Normally this is bad, but he has recognised the king is a bit drafty. An attack could come. Apparently an immediate check was better, but the queen blocks, you know. Humanly, you kind of want to keep the queen on the board, right? Go for the king, create tricks. They're playing on seconds, of course. Knight f4 back, pawn g5, kicks it unceremoniously out the way. King g7, king g2, probably prudent, but we get queen e1. The rook invades here. Queen f2, dropping back once more. Knight g3, watch out. Ante wants to go to Forktown, population Oro, but he spots it. Doubles on the file as well. Now this knight rotates around. They're not the best moves, right? But this is human chess. And apparently, queen g2, king f1, some kind of little nudgy waiting move is the order of the day. But f4 is played. A really understandable move, right? Opening lines on the line of the black king, but you do give some squares now. g4 could be played. Faustino goes queen g4. It's not the best, but things are getting weird. He's now facing your king, and after takes, queen takes, we get a disastrous mistake. Many different moves keep a balance here. The simplest to understand is, say, king g2. I mean, you stay in a pin, which isn't ideal. So let's say king f1. But regardless, bit of king something. In the game, queen h2. And it gets the double question marks of doom as the engine has an absolute meltdown because there's a tactical shot to finish the game. Does Faustino find it? You bet he does. It's rook takes on e2. Well done if you saw that one, because you had to see that the knight is pinned to the king, but also that after the queen takes, you've left the protection of the knight. And this is why a king on g2 wouldn't allow this tactic. A king on f1 wouldn't have allowed this tactic for various reasons, but the king here, it does allow this tactic. Take with check, and the trouble is that even if you swap the queens, this extra pawn is a winner. You know, sample line, right? Game over. So this was the final position. Ante shakes his head, resigns, and Faustino makes chess history by being the youngest player ever to advance to the second round of the World Cup. So exciting to see how he goes. He drew with Vidit today. Tomorrow's game 2, then tie breaks if needed the day after. Hope you enjoyed. Smash subscribe if you did, and have a look at the video on screen for some more epic chess. Thanks a lot for watching, and see you soon. Cheers.